Hello viewers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Chat with Shady, and as you know, I promised that I would be coming with a one-man pundit review of the ongoing Qatar World Cup 2022. Now obviously I wouldn't be able to give a review about every match that is going to be played. However, there are some outstanding matches that I believe that would be of very good interest. I took some time off to watch some of the matches today. That was the England against Iran match. I also watched the Netherlands against Senegal match, and I think the USA as against Wales, because I was actually rooting for Wales because that is where I schooled. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I will just go deep into the first match, which obviously was between England and Iran. So as you can see on the screen, I'm just going to be simulating it from my iPad, and it's going to be on the screen as you guys are watching with me. So as you can see, the Iranian national team had 4 defenders, they had 3 midfielders and then 3 attackers. And then personally I felt that for a team that was competing against England, which happens to be one of the very good attacking teams that we have in this tournament, playing 4 defenders really was not a very good catch, especially when you're playing 3 midfielders. I feel like for such a formation as England had, 4 defenders, 4 midfielders and then 2 attackers, or maybe like 2 strikers would have been a very good thing to go. However, as you could see, England had a bit of so as you can see on the screen, England was playing 4 defenders as well, but then they were playing 5 midfielders. Do you get what I mean? And then with the 5 midfielders, they had 2 lining behind the 3. Of course, Rice and then Bellingham were playing right behind Mount, and then with Sterling and Saka on the flanks. So then what's going to happen is that whenever the ball is moving across the center, you'd have Raheem Sterling and then Bukayo Saka moving up ahead to support Harry Kane, and then Mount is going to be backing them, and so it's going to make Luke Shaw and then Trippier move up the pitch with Rice and Bellingham. So as you can see, England started well, obviously with Pickford in the goal. So one thing that I actually realized about this is that the Iranian team did not have what I call the football confidence. I think simply because they were meeting England that had the reputation, England having that historical antecedent in the World Cup tournament. So I think they probably did not have that confidence. So if you can see in the beginning of the match, England had a very good grasp on the match. The Iranian team were not actually able to push ahead. They were not able to get some shots on targets and whatnot. So I've just reversed it a bit. And then one thing that I normally also realize is that all the time there were 3 or 4 attackers in the box or in the 18 of the Iranian national team, and I just, for some strange reasons, I didn't know if the coach had not seen this, or if probably like the coach did not have any remedy for it. You get me? Because I felt like, so if you watch it right, you realize that at this point you have 3, no, actually there were 5. I can see Harry Kane, I can see Raheem Sterling, I can see Bukayo Saka. Like all these people are attacking at the same time. I think at that point something should have prompted coach of the Iranian national team. So we have someone trying to hit the bar here. In a nutshell, the English team, they were really playing good. I think they had a very good understanding on the formation that the Iranian national team was playing, most of them being European players, European team players. They understood how they would be able to counter it, and I think because Southgate had been the manager of the team, taking them through the various competitions, they have probably met some other European teams that probably came up with that same formation strategy, and obviously they knew how to go about it. Yeah. So it goes on. It goes on. So you can see that initially the Iranian national team, even though England started to press from the start, but then the Iranian national team were able to contain them until their goalkeeper actually had an injury, and they swapped him, and obviously that is where, as Ghanaians would say, the Yawa came. You know what I mean? So, as you can see, the cross that got Bellingham to head the ball into the net. They tried. The English national team actually tried here and there, but you know what it is. So I think it was at this point, when the ball was crossed, and when it was crossed, you realize that again there are 5 attackers in the box. How come the Iranian coach didn't see this? 5 attackers in the box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 attackers in the box. What is going on? Wow. And obviously this is where the header came. Clean header. And you realize that the keeper didn't even jump. He didn't even make an effort to even jump, to even touch the ball. This keeper wasn't having a day. He wasn't. And I think when the first goal came, that is where, should I say, the confidence really got into despair. The confidence of the Iranian national team actually got into despair. And you realize that, especially when Bukayo Saka scored, right? Imagine, you have, all these defenders. Let me just take it back. You have all these defenders leaving Bukayo Saka with that whole big space. What was going on? This guy is a very good, talented striker, good, talented attacker. Playing for Arsenal. Look at what Arsenal is doing in the EPL this time around. And why do you leave? Look. God of mercy. God of mercy. God of mercy. And Raheem Sterling. Do you get what I mean? Let's just take it back. Let's just take it back. I mean, this was a proper counter-attack, and even that had 2 attackers in the box. And Raheem Sterling was able to just push it inside. No. Exactly. I mean, I understand that when it comes to quality of players, the technical competence of the team, by far the English national team is ahead of the Iranian national team. But I feel like these loopholes should have been prevented. Look at this guy. This was a clear opportunity for him to just put the ball in the net, and what happened? He just flopped his lines. No way.
Saka, Trippier makes up good ground.
So the match keeps going on. And you see this part where Bukayo Saka scored the goal. I was very shocked. How can you leave an attacker to take the ball, move through your penalty box? I don't know. At a point, I thought they were probably trying to, prevent a penalty, but you need to tackle the person. Tackle the person.
Rashford gets
Look, they left him. They left him. 4 attackers from England in the box. You know, I'm tempted to think that probably football is just not for like these Arabian brothers. Probably football is not for them. Because it happened the same way against Qatar yesterday. That was even against Ecuador. Yeah. So at this point, you're able to get one goal. Look at the confidence. Look at the confidence that this guy had to drive the ball into the net. Do you get what I mean? But hey, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. Look. Rashford came into the game 19 seconds and he puts a ball in the net. That's aside the fact that it speaks to the quality of player that Rashford is. It speaks to how weak the defense of the Iranian national team was. Like, I accept that the English national team, they are very good. You know, they are top players, they are well accomplished players. But the Iranian national team,
What an introduction!
I'm not giving that.
Marcus Rashford's first goal in a major tournament. Fine large.
Yeah. And you know, see, look at this one. 3 people in the box. 3 people in the box. How can you just leave this? Look. Oh God. Oh, Iran actually made me sad. Like, I don't even want to continue this part of the game again because I felt that, one, before you go to play England, you definitely know what kind of team the English team is, right? I always say that if quality of players could win a trophy, the English team will most often than not be winning, you know, trophies all the time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we have the next one, which is between Senegal and Netherlands. You know, obviously for Senegal, being the reigning champions of Africa, you know, from the immediate past AFCON, and then having Netherlands, you know, with very seasoned players like Virgil van Dijk, Dumfries, Frankie de Jong, you know, Blaine, serious players. You got me? Like, I knew that Netherlands was going to put on a show, but I must say that I was very impressed. At how, you know, the Senegalese players put up a show against the Netherlands. I thought Netherlands would take, you know, the Senegalese players for some sort of a roller coaster, but these young men proved that they were the African champions, if I should put it. And I think one thing that I realized in the match was that they probably had studied, you know, the mode and the style of play that these Dutch players were very used to, and they actually took them both for boot. One thing that I really missed, or one thing that I really realized, was that I was missing Sadio Mane. I think the Senegalese attack wasn't sharp, it wasn't clinical. Okay, if Sadio Mane was there, it would have been able to penetrate. I mean, he would have been able to penetrate the defense of the Dutch men and at least put in a goal, because they played. I mean, their center was good, the midfield was good, they had a very good defense. The goalkeeper did exceptionally well. Mendy is one of the seasoned goalkeepers in, you know, the EPL at the moment, and you know, I was not surprised that Mendy put up such a very good show. However, I felt that if Sadio Mane was part of the game, he would have been able to put in a very good show for them. So I mean, they played pretty much well. The game was almost a goalless draw until almost the last minute. Where you know, the Dutch players were able to put in one ball into the net from a header, and I feel like this header, when you look at it properly, let's just go back. Once again, there were four Dutch attackers in the box. The defenders of the Senegalese team saw the ball coming. They did not make any attempts, and this guy headed the ball. He came from the back. Look at him. He came all the way from the back to head the ball in it. Do you know what I mean? And I think at that point, because the match was almost coming to an end, they were a bit frustrated and whatnot, and then they probably just reduced the morale. You know what I mean? Obviously, the same thing happened to the second goal. They flubbed their lines. They really flubbed their lines. And I think at that point, Mendy was meant to just grip the ball rather than punch the ball outside. Especially when... And I mean, wait, we wouldn't even blame Mendy. This defender was the one supposed to clear the ball away. I mean, you see that your keeper has punched the ball out. What are you supposed to do? You are supposed to go and clear the thing out. So I was really disappointed because there aren't a lot of African teams in this year's World Cup. So I was really disappointed that Senegal was not able to score Netherlands today. But however, I have obviously, from my previous prediction that I posted, I have tipped Senegal and the Netherlands to qualify into the round of 16 from this group stage. So ladies and gentlemen, once again, my name is Shady Coco. This is Chat with Shady, as it's always been, and I'm gonna keep bringing you my reviews about this ongoing Qatar 2022. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good evening.